You have got to live a life below your means, but within your needs. You've always got to be prepared that something could happen in your own life, like an illness, an accident, a layoff, whatever that may be. And then what would you do? So your goal, no matter what else is happening in the economy, in my opinion, is you have got to get yourself out of credit card debt. You have got to have at least an 8 to 12 month emergency fund. You have to be funding your retirement accounts, and you have to really get a grip on your money and not go, oh my God, we're in recession, we're not, and blame it on anything that's happening out there.
Hello, my beautiful sunbeams, and welcome back to Can We Talk? I am your host, the original Sunshine Bay, and as always, I am thrilled that you've chosen chaos, clarity, and cute commentary with me today. Now, as you probably guessed from the title, and maybe from the mild existential crisis you've had after checking your bank balance, we're diving into the cost of living, and more importantly, the cost of the lifestyles we think that we're supposed to live. We're going to unpack why some of us out here are flexing lifestyles we actually can't afford, and why others are living modestly like they're prepping for an economic apocalypse. And honestly, they might be onto something. Because with layoffs, AI replacing your co-workers, your therapists, automation creeping up like it pays rent, and inflation doing the absolute most, maybe it's time for a little lifestyle audit. You know, the honest little moment where you stare at the spending and ask, who do I think I am? And speaking of the financial truth tellers, Susie Orman gave us advice years ago that still holds weight today. Her words weren't just smart, they were prophetic. In a time like this, her wisdom is not only relevant, it's essential. So let's be real, let's be introspective, and maybe, just maybe, let's stop pretending that spending money we don't have is a form of self-care. So before we get into the deeper layers of lifestyle, money, and self-sabotage disguised as self-care, let's take a moment to observe the current mood. We'll be watching a few TikTok videos to get a better sense of how people are responding to the idea of living below their means. Think of this as a quick temperature check, and not from the news, but from people actually living it. And honestly, the reactions are a mix of revelation, resistance, and a little retail therapy denial. You'll see everything from minimalism in action to people trying to justify daily takeouts with a budget they haven't looked at since January. It's very insightful, it's a little unhinged, and it's exactly what we need to see before we start unpacking the topic properly. So let's take a look.
Gonna want to hear this, but I don't care. So I'm gonna be de-influencing you in 20 seconds or less. Let's go. You can go to bed in an old t-shirt and shorts. You do not need to be spending over $100 on a luxury pajama set. Traveling often over the span of a year is actually not as normal as social media has made it seem, so you should not feel bad because you can't afford to take 5 trips every single year. Weekly or monthly clothing hauls are not normal. Spending over $300 on a single shopping trip is not normal, and you should not feel bad because you can't do the same. You do not need more than one reusable water bottle. The concept of reusable water bottles are that you can reuse them. Why do you need 6? I actually hope this video ruffled some feathers and de-influenced you in one way or another. Comment down below one thing I mentioned that you actually agree with.
I became a millionaire by age 26 and became financially free by age 30. These are 3 best tips that I can give you as a self-made multi-millionaire. Number 1, you have to live below your means and stop buying dumb shit. If you're not making over $500,000 a year, you shouldn't be driving a German car. Instead, you should be driving a Toyota or a Hyundai. Also, you shouldn't be wearing LVs, Gucci's, or Dior's. Instead, you should be wearing an H&M or Zara. Number 2, you have to find a way to make money in your sleep. If you don't do that, you're gonna have to work until you die. And the best way to create a passive income source is by investing in real estate. And no, nowadays you don't need that much capital to invest in real estate. You can start out by using a strategy called rental arbitrage. And lastly, number 3, become a contrarian. Stop following the crowd. A person who walks alone are usually the ones that go furthest. And
Mom taught me that has benefited my marriage so much, and I'm so grateful, is to live below my means. It allows for so much peace and contentment in our home and in our marriage. I am not stressing my husband out about keeping up with the Joneses and about what Mr. Such and Such did for his wife. Not at all. Also, I love to have spending money. Living above your means limits spending money because all your money is going towards the car note and the rent. Speaking of, my mom always taught me the importance of paying mortgage over rent, cash car over a car note. And also, I don't pay the bills, my husband does. So I'm not gonna stress him out about trying to keep up with somebody else. And I mean, I feel like also in that is confidence. When you're confident in who you are and what you're capable of, like because she raised me that way, I am extremely confident in my ability to make something out of nothing and to make the most out of anything. That's how I was raised. So I'm not sweating keeping up with nobody. And I know I don't need much to keep up with anybody. But anyway, this is me telling you, if anybody ain't never told you, it is okay to live below your means. Trying to keep up with people is really a setback in disguise. Don't get me wrong, it's a process, especially as young adults, but do not be afraid to save up. Do not be afraid to miss out. Do not be afraid to invest. Make sure you own something. I had to tell you that because I love you, girl.
So that was a brief scroll through the side of TikTok that is doing the emotional work, budgeting, downsizing, and slowly breaking up with impulse buying. Call it what you want, minimalism, financial discipline, or just plain common sense. But the idea is simple. Just live below your means so your future self isn't fighting for breath in a sea of debt. But now let's take a look on the other side. The side that's still deep in denial, high on lifestyle inflation, and possibly allergic to introspection. It's the I deserve it economy where overconsumption is a coping mechanism and change is postponed until, well, next Monday or whenever it just feels right. The next section, we're looking at how hard it is to shift gears when you're emotionally attached to spending or when the idea of living within your means feels like a punishment rather than power. Let's get into it.
Stop telling people to live below their means. Stop telling people that, because living below your means still doesn't make up for the fact that we don't make enough money. I'm living below my means and it's still hard. I don't know why y'all not ready to have that adult conversation yet. And people are so quick to say that when you tell them you're going through something financially. Y'all, even if I am living above my means or right at my means, there's no reason why I should have to cut out the little things that bring me joy to make up for the fact that we don't get enough money. And I say that because I know that personally, and I just see that so much. And granted, some people do live way above their means. But that's not who I'm talking about right now. I just know I reach the people who I need to reach.
Say this with love, I really do, but I do fear that what I'm about to say might be a little controversial because underconsumption videos are very trendy right now. I'll be doing too much with underconsumption. It's giving financial trauma at this point. I mean, going to Sephora and spending $1,000 on skincare and makeup is not financially responsible or reasonable for most people, but using the same wash rag for 6 years is not reasonable either. I think that type of content is important, and I think that it's important to share ways to save money, especially in this economy. I love seeing the way that people are being more mindful of their money and just keeping track of where their money is going, but sometimes it's okay to spend a little bit. It could be from anxiety surrounding financial stability or just a fear of running out of money. Constantly checking your bank account, obsessing over your financial stability is not healthy. I really had to work on this mindset as well because I came from a household that didn't always have what we needed financially. And for a long time, especially in my early 20s, I didn't think I deserved to have money. I really thought that I didn't deserve to make more money because I was used to surviving on a lot less. But now when I go on job interviews, I'm no longer ashamed or shy to ask for the highest salary. I know that I deserve to be at that salary range and I'm gonna ask for it. I'm not rich by any means, but in my current financial situation, budgeting is no longer about saving as much money as I can with the fear that it's gonna run out. It's not even about saying no, it's more about knowing where my money is going. I'm okay, I'm comfortable spending the money as long as I know where it's being spent. Healing from generational financial trauma is really hard, especially when you are the type of person that has to take care of your family, or maybe you're the most successful person in your family and all of that burden is on you, or you had to work really young and start paying bills at a really young age. For me, part of that healing journey was learning how to say no, learning how to set boundaries and let people know I am not financially responsible for you. Maybe you're not being frugal just for the trend. Maybe you have some financial generational trauma that you need to heal from.
Of this comment, pause the video and take a moment to read it, because I've talked about this a little bit, and it's true. It's always like, how much more in my means do you really want me to live? Like, am I supposed to never be happy? It's like, I'm sorry I made the ingredients to make a cake, or one time this month I went to Starbucks and got my favorite coffee. I'm not talking about people that are stopping and getting gas station treats 3 times a day. Like, I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about the people that are struggling, but they're still like going out to eat 5 nights a week. That's a different story. I have watched people that are struggling and doing everything that they can and are still having to put their bills on credit cards, be told by others, oh, well, you're just not living within your means. And at some point, you have to come to terms with, they're not saying that because they're trying to be corrective. They're not saying that because they're trying to point you towards better decisions. They are telling you that because at the end of the day, all they are saying is, no, I want you to suffer more. I want you to never eat red meat. You should be eating canned tuna and beans and rice, and you should never be allowed to eat anything else. Oh, you had ramen's 5 night this week, but another night you decided to make Italian sausage spaghetti, and it cost you $5 instead of the $2 meat. Like, no, you're not allowed to do that. I need you to suffer. I want you. I am excited by your suffering. That's what people mean when they are telling these other people to live within their means. It is literally a call for someone that they deem as not a valuable human being to suffer more. Because what do you mean you don't think, like, do you know how expensive it is to eat healthy? Like, do you have any idea how expensive it is to eat healthy? And God forbid a person eat on garbage, high-calorie, cheap food that is not satiating, that then messes with your hormones, that causes you to end up with an eating disorder. It's like, no. Like, yeah, you can go eat Hamburger Helper and feed a couple of people cheap. But also, do you know what? Hamburger Helper's smaller than it used to be. You go make a thing of Hamburger Helper. When I was a kid, a thing of Hamburger Helper fed 4 people. A thing of Hamburger Helper right now might feed 2 people. A decent sized meal. If you're an active person and you actually need to eat, no. Everything is smaller. Everything is more expensive. In order to eat healthy, you are paying out the ass in order to eat a healthy meal. You know how much vegetables cost? Oh, instead of eating a candy bar, why don't you buy an apple? An apple's like $1.60 now for an apple. A bag of grapes? Hold on. Bear with me. We've eaten like 15 of these. Do you know how much this bag of grapes was? $8 fucking dollars. $8. So no, stop telling people to live within their means when what you really are saying is, I need you to suffer more for my own enjoyment because I don't think you deserve humanity. I don't think you deserve dignity as a human being. Say what you really mean and stop doing this pussyfooting around.
Okay, so no. Most people aren't out here blowing cash on 5-star dinners and designer drip. They're just trying to keep the lights on and maybe have enough left over for a decent life. Living beyond your means isn't always a choice. Sometimes it's the only option that the system hands you with a crooked smile. But, and that is a big but, if you do have even a small margin to make intentional choices, choosing to live below your means gives you long-term peace, power, and possibilities. It's not sexy, it's not viral, and it won't win you followers, but it will win you freedom. Because while living beyond your means may look like survival today, living below them, even just a little, is how you build the kind of life where survival isn't the only goal. It's how you stop renting your future to pay for your present. Play the long game. Quiet wealth beats loud struggle every time. Oh my goodness, we've come to the end of another episode of Can We Talk, and we've emotionally budgeted, spiritually downsized, and even side-eye a few subscriptions together, and honestly, it was beautiful. It's been such a joy being with you, my radiant sunbeams, and thank you for sticking around while we unpack the glamorous struggle of stretching coins and sipping dreams on a budget. And listen, please don't ghost me. Hit that like button like it owes you money. share with your friend who's still ordering daily takeouts, and subscribe so you don't miss the next episode, where we'll no doubt be talking about something equally important. Oh, and please don't forget to drop me a comment. Let me know, how are you surviving? Are you thriving or just charging everything to next month's problems? I want to hear how you're really doing. Until next time, keep your wallets close, your goals closer, and your snacks affordable. Peace, love, and debit card declines. I'm the original Sunshine Bay, and I'll see you next time.